Hello, welcome to Two Guys Talk Wrestling with me, Mike Formoy. To my left is Ethan Roberts.
Good evening.
And we're here to talk to you this evening about the current state of WWE, WWE Raw, Smackdown, NXT. If you want to follow us or contact us, it's at 2GTWUK, at Mike Formoy, or at Ethan_Twiggy.
Well done.
Right, I got it right.
I'm glad someone here knows my actual Twitter account. I don't.
So, the theory is that we're going to run through Raw, run through SmackDown, run through NXT, give our thoughts, our views, and reviews of each show. So, we are starting today with Raw, because that was on Monday. So
It was the first day
show.
of the week. And the first thing that happened on the first thing of the week.
Do you want to take it away?
Yeah, well, it's Corey Graves hosting his little Reigns, Big Cass, Kevin Owens, and Rollins all in the ring.
Yep.
Of what I thought was a brilliant little promo segment to the main event.
It was a good segment, actually. It was
entertaining. It was short.
Ish.
Well, it
was short. Well, it was short enough. I don't
Yeah.
think it needed to be too long, but definitely not too short.
Yeah.
And it actually showed Cass with some kind of charisma.
Yeah,
Was what I
the fans love
what I
him.
took away from that.
The fans do actually really like Big Cass.
They do. It's just an affinity they all have with him. Really.
Yeah.
It's-
No, he did, as he said in his little clip, he does feed off the crowd and the crowd feeds off him. No, he does it well.
What more do you want from a wrestler?
That is very true.Maybe someone with a little bit more mic skill. If Enzo and Cass merged.
Sure, we discussed this last week.
Yeah. Yeah, no. For me, though, in that standout bit was Kevin Owens stood out in that one.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I think that was, to be fair, I think that's to do with him hanging around Jericho at the moment.
Yeah. No, he's definitely found his character a bit more, which is
Yeah.
nice. He's found not just his in-ring ability, but he's sort of found a little bit of charisma, something
Yeah.
that fans can sort of feed off a little bit, rather than just being an arsehole. to a point.
Arseholes on microphones do work as well.
That's true, but he does it well. But,
He does.
it's nice that he can have that little bit of humour with it as well.
Yeah.
He does it right, so
Just a
that's
bit of
good.
connectivity again with the fans. as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I think Roman showed his brilliant mic skills.
Well, by not talking.
by not talking. Yes,
not
I think
talking.
that was to quote the authority, best for business.
Yeah, no, I think Roman is best when he speaks people up. I don't think he really needs an agenda. He just needs to be angry.
Yeah.
The fans like it when he puts people through tables. Although, talking about that, they've actually moved the announce table, I noticed
Yes.
last week.
You only noticed that last week. That happened on the first week.
I didn't notice that on the first week.
That happened, was about 4 or 5 weeks ago since the brand split now.
Yeah, but I didn't notice that one.
They've been standing there looking at cameras. They weren't even looking at the action in the ring at one point earlier on.
Yeah. I just didn't pick up on it. A bit blind on that one. I was concentrating more on what happened in the ring with the wrestlers rather than the actual commentary team.
Yeah, but if they could,
That's
it's true.
But it means he now can't put people through announce tables as easily.
Yeah, there's just more barriers around to put people through, or in Rollins' case, slam people into
And injure them.
and injure.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that going on recently. Injury, blood, stitches.
We'll get onto blood and stitches later as well.
Well, yeah, another one happened this week as well.
With the one hit that you took.
Well, I know, the one forearm he took to get him off the ropes and fucking split his nose open. Yeah.
But it was a perfect precursor to the main event later on
It was
in
a
the
good start to the
evening.
show, followed by what was
Good start to the
an
show.
incredible match.
Oh, yeah, the following match, Jericho versus the, and I quote, muscle-bound Mighty Mouse, Adrian
Brown.
Neville. But that was absolutely brilliant. Just
Neville was insane.
Neville was insane.
He was so intense.
Added more moves
Yeah.
as well. Just he finds more ways to flip and spin.
Yeah.
It seems to be all he does, but it works.
Yeah, it does work.
Works
And
for him.
He's got the strength to do all the slams and the holds.
Yep.
I mean, he done a deadlift
Yeah.
on Jericho. I thought it was fucking impressive.
That was impressive.
That was
It was impressive. All
very good
270 fat pounds of Jericho.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, actually, they've been talking with finger.
There is
bending
inverted
remarks,
commas here.
Inverted commas about trying to get Jericho down to the 205 weight limit.
Oh, that'll never happen. He's about 40 pounds too heavy. That won't happen.
No, but
They'll
that's what they want to try and do.
possibly use him against cruiserweights, but
Yeah, I think he'd be a good. If cruiserweights
But-
ever decide to go for bigger people, he'd be the stepping
Yeah.
stone.
on the subject of the cruiserweights, I would like to ask if Neville's going to be included in the cruiserweight, so they're going to finally find something to do with him.
Well, yeah, him and Sami Zayn straight in there. That's why the
Zayn light enough.
Yeah. Sami Zayn is exactly 205 pounds. He is exactly 93 kilos.
Well, it's about time they did something with him.
But you think he'd done that amazing end of rivalry with Kevin Owens and won the match.
Brilliant match.
It was fantastic. And then no one remembers that match because they don't fuck all with
No one
Sami
remembers
Zayn.
Zayn. Actually, I'm gonna skip on some of Raw for a second to get to Sami Zayn, because Zayn seems to be in the middle of nowhere at the moment. No storyline, just kind of odd matches, and they put all the effort into bringing Jinder Mahal back to Raw, and he seems to be there just to lose.
Yeah. So where he was when he.
So yeah, basically where he was when he left, when he was part of the old 3MB.
Basically. But to be fair, it was actually it was a bit of a boring match, but it was a solid match. There was no genuine fuck-ups.
No.
Zayn's still doing the ankle injury, selling it really well.
Yes. He is selling it well. But
yeah, no, I think he'd be a cruiserweight. Him and Neville, both straight in there, both light enough, both good enough.
Oh no, Neville's a given. Oh no, it's about time they did something with Neville and actually made him go for a title of some kind.
He would be an incredible cruiserweight.
I think he would, yeah. He would fit in really well.
Do you know Finn Balor fits into cruiserweight?
Finn Balor fits into it, but he's already too big. They'll never put him in the cruiserweight.
Well, it depends on what happens
to me,
when he comes back.
The lowest title he will come back for is the US title. That's the lowest title they're bringing back for.
Well, it depends if they make the cruiserweight an actual substantial title, give it some actual meaning rather than doing 2-minute championship matches. If they actually make it good, because I mean the Neville Jericho match was only 10.5 minutes and it was fantastic.
You're timing things now as well.
A little bit, yeah.
No, it was.
It was fantastic.
Was that 10.5 including the advert break that skipped out?
I didn't time
of the feed you're watching.
Didn't time that bit. Probably not.
It's about 2.5 minutes, give or take, probably.
Yeah.
Digressing.
It was Jericho. I would say that it was Jericho's best in-ring performance this year. He was on top of everything. He sold the moves well. He'd done the moves well.
What got me with Jericho is they actually let him use the old Walls of Jericho with the knee in the back, which I didn't think they were allowed to do anymore.
Well, they referred to it as the Lion
Which
Tail.
is what it was before he actually called it the Walls of Jericho. It's when he was the old Lionheart Chris Jericho in ECW, WCW.
Yeah, that was a good move.
It is much more effective to me than the actual what is now called the Walls of Jericho.
Which
is
is
Boston crap.
Yes, it's basically a Boston crap.
So that's that really.
Yeah, no, it was a very good match.
Thoughts on that.
And hopefully, Jericho will do something a little bit more. Hope they don't use him as a stepping stone. But Neville, I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight,
the muscle-bound Mighty Mouse.
He's insane. I've been watching the Cruiserweight
He's very
Classic.
triangular from top to bottom.
He is. He's almost like a really small Triple H. When Triple H is his whole arm stretchy thing. But yeah, if anyone's been watching the Cruiserweight Classics, which you haven't, way behind on it.
I am behind on it.
Neville v some of the contestants and that.
Yeah.
Ibushi, Brian Kendrick, Cedric Alexander. Going to be incredible matches when that kicks off in September.
Yep, September 19th, isn't it?
Which I believe is the day
after Backlash.
After Backlash. Cannot wait for Backlash.
Backlash should be very good.
Not sure if I like the logo for Backlash. I like the old Backlash where it's curvy and it was.
Yes, but they've got to get it more up to date these days and high definition-y. That is a word.
High definition-y. Yes. Oh, is it? We'll have a little gloss at the end.
I'm starting to wonder if this show should be called Two Guys Talk Bollocks.
It is a little bit.
But anyway, next up we had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful segment with Bayley in the New Day.
Yeah.
And I don't think I need to say anything else about it.
No.
Because it was perfect.
Yeah.
And the New Day fits Bayley to a T, and I really do hope they do more with that.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think they need to have a few more factions with mixed gender. Yeah. Dane and Brooke worked quite
Brooke with
well.
Gallows and Anderson as well.
My only problem is it was very Vince McMahon cliche with the whole nurse. And, do you know what I mean? It was trying to be sexy and nurse when she's got more muscle than some of the male wrestlers. Exactly. Don't tell that to her face; she'll kill you.
Yes, Gallows and Anderson also with their
they've retired
segment. They've retired from being doctors, ladies and gentlemen, and they are now working
in the retirement industry
with
called Old Fart,
octogenarian leisure destination for aging rehab treatment. I wrote it down.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Obviously, for those of you who haven't noticed, it does spell out Old Fart.
No, I don't mind their little gimmicks now because
as long as they're different gimmicks and don't constantly use them to try and be funny, because Gallows and Anderson do need to be brutal.
Yeah, which they showed in that match. They were more aggressive than they were last week.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that they can do the humour on the promos, but in the ring they're all business.
Yes.
And it's a fine line, and they need to stick to it.
Yes.
Because
agree.
They don't do comedy in the ring well. They do it
no.
on the big screen.
At least they've started talking a bit better, though.
Yeah.
They were a bit kind of wooden when
little
they came
bit.
in.
No, they're definitely, again, I think it's a case of the whole big casting. They've actually sort of hit a chord with the audience a little bit and sort of working off that.
Yep.
But it wasn't a bad match. I mean, it was a solid match.
I've got it down as a great match.
The only problem I had with it was they built all the momentum up until the commercial break. And then we came back from the commercial break and there was nothing happening until Bayley came back in the ring to win it. There's a 4 minutes of
I have a general issue with these commercial breaks, because there's plenty of time between segments to have the commercial breaks before the matches. Secondly, I am enjoying it at the moment, how it's always the baby faces on top going into the commercial break. Then they come back from the commercial break and the baby face on the floor.
Yeah.
Usually in some kind of hold. And during the break, apparently he got his brains bashed in somehow or another.
Yeah, which we see a small clip and don't quite know how that happened.
Yes, or how they even got to that little point.
Yeah. But it was a badly timed commercial break, but it was a case of it was a really good first half. The second half was a bit naff and then had a really good end.
Until Kofi tried to kill himself.
Yeah, that was a bad dive across the top rope. Overshot it by a long way.
Yeah,
to be fair,
wasn't great.
Gallows did walk a little bit too fast.
Yes.
Towards him. If he'd stayed the fuck, he's
just stay where you are.
Stay where you are, big massive man.
Big man, stay where you are.
Big man. Yeah, no, it was alright. It was a pretty good match.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Bayley's feeling a little bit more confident in front of a big crowd.
I think Bayley with the New Day, as I said a minute ago, is just absolutely. I think that's brilliant. I think that is perfect writing.
Yeah.
And they should keep it with them.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be good because, I mean, the women's division at the moment, they've got so much going on and they're only promoting a particular few.
Yeah.
I think if they chuck Bayley into the mix, she's just going to get lost.
Yeah, because Bayley... I don't think Bayley should go for the women's title yet. With Charlotte, I think we've got to wait to resolve that with Sasha Banks first as well.
Yeah.
So they need something to do with it, and I think a little rivalry with Dana Brooke and maybe Gallows and Anderson thrown in.
Yeah,
to me,
definitely think a triple threat between Sasha, Charlotte, and Bayley would be an epic WrestleMania match.
That's a little way down the line, yeah.
I know.
It's September.
Yeah, but we sort of wait for Sasha to come back. Then she's got to try and reclaim it. And then you've got to chuck Bayley in once she's established a little bit more. It's going to take time.
Try and not let people get injured in the process.
Yeah.
Running theme.
It is.
In amongst all that, I did miss out was... I love my notes here. Another Nia Jax squash match. Which... come on.
To be fair, I will say this: they do need to give her sit out side slam move, whatever the fuck that is, an actual name.
Yeah, it's kind of a Death Valley driver come drop him on their head.
Yeah, but they haven't given it a name.
No, but they don't for a while though. When these new wrestlers come in, they always go, "Oh, there was the RKO took about a year to be called the RKO," and they went, "Oh, and there was that cutter." Oh, well, it's dangerous, so give it a name. Call it something.
If it's a finisher, give it a name. But I think the moment she actually faces someone with any validity to their name, they might give that move a name.
Might give that move a name, and it might last longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just to show that she is a monster. So when she does come up against someone, to be fair, I do want her, when she does come up against someone with validity to their name, I still want it to be a 4-minute match. I want her to be able to run through someone who we know.
But someone who we know that can wrestle, but is smaller.
Alicia Fox, for example.
Who?
Alicia. that person who was with the Bella Twins, but then one of the Bella Twins got injured, and the other one tried to have a baby with her husband off screen.
Yeah.
Those twins. The one we haven't seen yet.
We haven't seen her for a long time. Is she on Raw? I don't even know what happened to her.
What, Brie Bella?
No, Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox is Raw.
Is she on Raw?
Alicia Fox is Raw, yeah.
Kind of forgot the draft seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, no. So a 6-minute match of Alicia Fox would be quite good.
6. I'd like to see Alicia Fox just get run through.
6 minutes is an average match.
She was never that good.
I actually thought she was alright, better than some of the fucking female wrestlers or just male wrestlers they've had.
Some of the wrestlers in general.
Just some of the wrestlers in general. They've had some, like the Spirit Squad.
Yeah, but the Spirit Squad bore So I was going to say thumb fruit. One specific bit of fruit
One.
being Dolph Ziggler.
The one who stole the show.
Yes, basically, yeah. Although Kenny Dykstra did have a kind of 6-month run in which he had a massive battle with Ric Flair, which is very strange.
So yeah, shortly after that we had another commercial break, and then it was Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal, which we've sort of touched upon a little bit. We've done the New Day one.
I've got it the wrong way around, haven't I?
Yeah, okay. You've got that the wrong way around.
Sami Zayn and Jinder Mahal, which again, as I said, it just seems pointless bringing Jinder Mahal back in if he's not actually going to challenge or anything.
I think at the moment it's a case of get Sami Zayn looking good for the cruiserweight, then focus on Jinder. That's the way I can see it going.
Or make both of them wrestle a good match and make them both look good.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Talking realistic here.
I think someone over with the fans, not necessarily over as a babyface, but over as someone that they can boo or cheer, rather than someone who just come out to silence.
Yeah, to be fair, Jinder got, when he was working the heat on Zayn, there was literally the crowd just didn't care.
No.
They were all on their phones. But when Zayn was working the heat, everyone loved him.
Yep.
So they definitely need to do
top
something.
quality talent.
He's just so
He
good.
needs to push, probably when the cruiserweight division comes in. Hopefully, they need to do something with him.
As long as I don't see Neville Zayn again. Don't want to relive NXT.
Unless they make it an interesting match, a ladder match or something.
That or a cage match for the cruiserweight. Can you imagine Neville doing his flips off the top of the cage? Jesus Christ!
Yes, I like it.
We need that sort of stuff back.
Yes, I do agree with you completely. Which annoys me because I want to disagree with you about more.
You want to disagree with me? Well, see, we might have disagreements when it comes to Sheamus and Cesaro.
We might have disagreements with Sheamus and Cesaro.
Out of the two, who do you want to see win the best out of 7?
Cesaro, ideally. I think it could go either way though. I think if Sheamus wins it, as long as they do something good with him afterwards, then.
Well, whoever wins
same as Cesaro, really.
Whoever wins is guaranteed a Universal title shot.
Yes, that was kind of not really announced. They just kind of talked about it while they were on screen. To me, it's quite a solid match. I quite enjoyed it.
I thought it was actually really good. I thought it was as good as their first match.
Yes, but that was because there was just a change up in their moves. They
it was slightly different. There was a lot of counters.
Yes.
I noticed the fact
that these two, in a story capacity,
know each other so well.
Are going to end up over possibly 7 matches, knowing each other so well that we may be lucky if someone gets a move in at some point.
Yeah.
Uncounted.
That's why I think towards the end we're going to have to mix it up. It's going to have to be a tables match. Something like that. Something where it isn't a case of who can hit my finisher. It's a case of I'm going to put you through a table. Because... Yeah. You know the finisher's coming, so they're just going to counter it. Whereas, case if they can counter and push them off the ropes through a table that's set up outside the ring, I can see it having to go away. And if it ends at Hell in a Cell, that would be an incredible Hell in a Cell match.
That would be a brilliant time to end it. It'd be the perfect time to end it.
Yeah.
But whether they'll actually
Brogue kick Cesaro through the wall, that'd be amazing.
I don't know, a missed Brogue kick through the wall to open up the cage in the first place.
Something like that. I think it's got a lot of potential. It's a very solid match. I actually really enjoyed it.
I did. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it. When it came on, I was like, here we go again.
Yeah, but I actually found myself going, this match is actually showing a little bit. It was a bit different.
Yeah.
It was very interesting and really good back and forth. And the submissions coming out of nowhere was pretty good. Do quite like the fact though, having the cloverleaf now as a viable submission for Sheamus. They actually used it well.
They did. That was the perfect use of it.
So hopefully that could be added to his moveset, because to be fair, I'm fed up of seeing him body kick people in the face all the time. It's the only move he does.
He's got about 4 moves. Give him his credit.
Okay,
he's got the 10 beats of the Bowdrum.
Okay, he's got one more move than Titus O'Neil.
More on that in a minute. He's got the 10 beats of the Bowdrum, the Brogue kick, the Irish curse backbreaker, and white noise. That's his 4 moves. That's his moveset per match.
They have changed his entrance though.
A little bit.
Not much. They've taken it. Yeah, I think they've done the same thing as Carmella. They just made him stop talking a little bit, or hit on his case shouting.
Yeah, shouting. It's so good though. Nothing wrong with shouting on entrance.
No, but. Yeah, I think they're trying to make him a little bit more, changing him up, making him a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And I noticed that his video for his entrance now is just pictures of his mohawk. Did you see that at all?
actually missed it.
It
to
was
be
brilliant.
fair.
It was the first picture was a picture of sideways of his mohawk. Then it was from the back, then the front, and then it was him doing a move. And then it went back to the mohawk.
I believe there is a hashtag out there of respect the hawk. I believe.
That's amazing. Everyone, hashtag respect the hawk at some point when you hear this.
But no, good match.
Yeah.
Cesaro 2 down.
I think it's going to be a case of 3 down. Win it
No,
4-3.
I don't. I reckon it'd be a case of 2 down to 3-2 up. Then Sheamus brings it back. And then you've got the big battle at the end. Unless stupidly they make Sheamus look really strong and make him win it 4-0, which is really stupid.
Especially when they've been building up Cesaro so much.
But here's the question though: Cesaro's injury that he suffered in Raw is possibly work, but also did look very painful. And did want the doctors out there. If he can't finish it, finish the series, do we then have to wait for like 6 months till he comes back to finish the series?
No, I think it'd be a case if he has to forfeit, Sheamus wins by TKO.
Oh, but that's no fun. Let's keep teasing for about 6 months his comeback to continue and finish off Sheamus.
To be fair, if they'd done that, Sheamus 3-0 up and 2 months away, and then Cesaro comes back to win it 4-3. But then again, that's a long-winded wait for something like that. But I think we should talk about that. Braun Strowman, what are your thoughts? It's an angry man with an angry roar in front of some angry music.
Angry man with a now decent look.
Yes.
After his whole fluffy sheep is the only way I can describe it. When he was part of the Wyatt family.
Big fluffy sheep.
Big fluffy baby-faced sheep. They've now actually made him look angry. And even like his hair just makes him look angry.
Yeah.
He roars.
He looks more Viking
He
now.
roars. His music roars. People get crushed.
And not the Rusev crush.
No, not the Rusev crush.
It's a proper actual crush.
Kind of reverse choke slam.
He
face
absolutely destroyed Americo.
For Americo.
I think the whole thing, even though it was like a 2-minute match.
2 minutes? 2 seconds.
2 minute on TV. That's after the bells rung, ended, and he decided to then taunt him by ripping off the mask.
Yeah, I think
adding insult to
that
injury.
is just designed to make him a little bit more nasty.
Yeah,
kind of.
That was solely the purpose.
I mean, I have no issues taking people's respect and dignity. Rah.
Yeah, I think that was.
That's my Strowman roar. Rah.
He's done it well. To be fair, it worked. I was thinking, he's a bit of a bastard.
Yeah. What a git.
What a complete tosser. How British can we sound?
How very British do we get? Then I feel we're going to a little pointless kind of tirade now from Braun Strowman to Stephanie McMahon and Paul Heyman.
To be fair, I've actually got a theory of why they've done this.
Aside from throwing ones at Stephanie McMahon, which was superb, but all it needed was Jericho standing next to Stephanie McMahon calling her a trash bag hoe all over again from way back in the day. It was Throwback Thursday. What can I say? I think it was a bit of a pointless segment. What's the point in calling Paul Heyman out and being all angry just to go, yeah, apology accepted, and walk off?
I think the sole purpose around it is because Brock Lesnar's not going to be in it for a while, and they need to try and keep him relevant and interested by the fans. Because to be fair, he may have overstepped a line.
He may have overstepped a line, but I read something earlier from internet sources, so who knows if it's true, that apparently Brock Lesnar's next match is the night before Clash of Champions at a house show against Randy Orton, so non-televised. What's the point? What's the point? What is the point?
Actually really annoying.
The only excuse I've seen for it being a viable thing is to pull more people into a house show, which, to be fair, they sell out all of them anyway most of the time, and because it costs less to put Brock Lesnar off TV than on TV. So maybe it is a punishment thing if they don't want to pay him as much to be on TV.
Yeah.
But still, work or not, with Lesnar and Orton, it was a bit brutal.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing, but it was a really disappointing end to the pay-per-view.
It was, but it
just kind of suddenly ended.
Did do what they kind of wanted it to do. It created so much talk and sparked the internet.
Again, much like when we come on to SmackDown anyway, but much like the Miz's rant at Daniel Bryan last week. It was.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
It was possibly with Orton and Lesnar, it was also kind of a shoot promo kind of thing.
Yeah. But, I think
Kind of a shoot
Stephanie
work.
Paul Heyman, I think, on a actual WWE work level, it was an incredible little mic skill between the two. They were both on top form. Paul Heyman,
Paul Heyman's like the best person on the mic in the world.
he's just so damn good to watch.
And no one's going to change that. Not even The Rock will change who the best person in the world on the microphone is.
I'm with you on that one. But I thought it was a filler segment.
Yeah,
But I think it was at the same time to keep Brock Lesnar on screen without him being there. As you say, I think it might be a little bit of a punishment by him only doing house shows, bringing back around the Royal Rumble time.
That said, they may say it's a house show, but you never know. It's the WWE. They might do a network special or something on the Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because it's a Saturday before Clash of Champions. They
Yeah.
might do like they've done before, like
With
Beast in the East,
Roadblock.
Roadblock, which was reasonably pointless.
And to be fair, the Dean Ambrose Triple H match was actually really good. I genuinely thought Dean Ambrose was going to win.
It was a well-worked match, but no, was it Tuesday night pay-per-view?
I don't know.
Roadblock. I can't remember. It was midweek somewhere, I think. But it was quite pointless still, to me.
The next thing with the Paul Heyman is who is the storm that's coming Brock Lesnar's way? What is the storm?
What is the storm? More answers at some other point, because that's all we've been given.
Yeah.
A bit like the NXT thing with Sanity. What's going on?
It's literally just his name on a screen.
Is it a person? Is it the
A group?
upcoming? Is it a group? Is it the upcoming NXT takeover? The next one? Is it going to be NXT takeover Sanity?
I don't see it being like that. Definitely. Well, to fear that adding as much talent in NXT as possible because they've lost so much.
Yeah, this
It's
is the
gotta be a
problem. You
group.
kind of bring forward a class of people in NXT.
The best
But
ones of
unfortunately,
NXT.
then you get rid of all of them at the same time, and you've got to kind of start from the beginning with a few kind of NXT mid-carders there
Getting
instead.
the chance for the top.
Getting the chance for the top. So it's going to take a while for it to build a chance for the fans to actually break back into the new NXT stars.
Yeah.
But hopefully, out of all that, we can gain more Balors, more American Alphas.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. We do get
Right,
on.
we
to the
go
next-
from Stephen Paul Heyman as
Which
segment
was
filler,
a really good segment
as a
filler
really good segment filler,
to the
then
shittest part of my
continue
week.
to something that I'm not sure if it was actually a last minute thing or not because they had more time, or if they're still trying to put over this rivalry between
Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. There is no way this was a spur of the moment. We've got some time to kill. This was them being fucking morons. I used to quite like Titus O'Neil. I used to think he was alright. I used to give him some credit.
maybe. Well, the thing is, his match with Rusev was brilliant,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's just working with Darren Young makes him crap.
I was going to go down a similar route, actually. He was relatively alright beforehand. And when he was working with Darren Young as primetime players, it was a bit of fun.
Can we put Titus O'Neil against someone and make Titus O'Neil great again?
Bob Backlund, swap him around. Go for the tall one.
Go for the one with some muscle and some
Clash of the Titus.
God. Oh, I hate that name. It's a pointless name. It's not a pointless move. It's a good move, but it's a very pointless name of a move. I just
Pretty sure it's the only move he knows. That and the splash in the corner.
you got the splash in the corner, followed by his strange barking thing.
Ooh-ah, ooh-ah,
Ooh-ah,
ooh-ah.
ooh-ah, ooh-ah.
Again, the fans can relate to that, but he's just shit at the
But
moment.
yeah, the fans didn't seem to react to either superstar. Because
just
I
didn't
don't
react to the
think
whole
anyone knows
segment.
who the bad guy's supposed to be.
No,
Who's supposed to be the heel?
they're both boring.
Why is someone supposed to be the heel? Where did this come from? I think they tried to bill it as friendly rivalry after the first match when
then
Titus pulled Darren Young's tights.
And then it was a case of then he assaulted Bob Backlund, and Darren Young was like, "Oh no, he's like my adopted father. No, you can't hurt my life coach." And it all just went downhill very quickly. But you had the shittest part of Raw,
Right near the end.
followed by the best bit.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was supposed to bring all the fans down.
Make them feel
before
like the night was worthless.
The match of the year by a country mile.
Yeah, it was. Not to quote anything, but it was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. It's the wrong show, but it was phenomenal. It really was. From start to finish, Big Cass hanging with the big boys.
Yeah, and he held well.
And proving he could hang with the big boys.
Did you not think
and that he's got some singles talent.
Did you not think he overshot the big boot to Reigns when he went over the rope as well?
I think he was supposed to.
He went way over.
Yeah, no, he did. He went miles.
He looked spectacular.
He went miles.
I just like the fact that before that he shouted, "How you doing?" and the whole crowd went mental, and then he goes flying, and everyone went, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
And they never saw him again.
Yeah.
I will say, on a similar note to Sheamus, Big Cass needs more moves.
Yeah, but the difference between Cass, Sheamus, and Titus O'Neil is everyone loves Big Cass.
It's very true.
And I think the only reason they love him so much is because he's had someone like Enzo Amore with him.
Yeah, but again, it's who you work with that makes you who you are. So
Yeah.
Darren Young, Titus O'Neil with Darren Young worked well.
Kind of worked. Against, not so much.
Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil, no one gives a crap.
Sheamus is part of
Oh God, Sheamus before he got his
the
shoulder,
League of Nations.
Sheamus before he got his quote unquote shoulder injury and was sidelined for 9 months, actually because he couldn't get back into the United States because his visa expired after the UK tour. Was brilliant.
Yeah.
Sheamus when he came back as a brutal heel, kicking people in the face a lot.
Good.
Just kicking people around. Good.
Then they used him to
League of Nations.
Yeah, they put him in League of Nations with Bad News Barrett, whose original gimmick
Is massively underused and really should come back and be promoted and
as
pushed.
just Bad News Barrett. That gimmick was good. He was supposed to be a heel, but everyone loved him, especially when beforehand he was part of Nexus
Yeah.
with Heath Slater. When Heath Slater was really good.
Yeah, Heath Slater. And Barrett was the leader of the Nexus, and then the best thing Barrett ever did was go toe to toe with CM Punk for the leadership of the Nexus.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It just was.
And yeah, they put them all together as League of Nations.
Yep.
None of them got the push or any recognition that they deserved.
Yep.
And
But
Sheamus fell to the background.
it was a risk which no one bothered with. No one could be bothered with. No fans, no back from staff apparently. But sometimes factions work.
Yeah.
Segueing back to the fatal 4-way elimination match. Reigns, Rollins. Again, I cannot praise this match enough.
No.
It was.
We don't have enough
Edge of
time
Secret-
nor
no.
words invented in mankind to describe how good this match was. But I will say this. How many times can Reigns counter something with the Superman punch?
And from how many different positions? It's the RKO all over again.
It was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I think that's what the fans
I did
liked
quite.
about
I
Reigns.
did quite like the pop-up Superman punch.
That was good. That one was really good. I have to give credits on that one. I didn't see that one come in. Kevin Owens did when it hit him in the face.
I felt a bit sorry for Big Cass being forced to lose to a frog splash, because Owens is good at the frog splash, but I think it should be more of a signature move rather than a finisher move.
He did get taken out though beforehand.
He did get beaten.
That was the last. He was the last little bit.
But I think he was always going to be the first one eliminated.
Oh yeah.
But he did himself complete justice.
Yeah, I think if anything, even though Kevin Owens walked out Universal Champion.
Calling it now, just for the record, calling it now. In the next month or two, maybe a run at the US title against Rusev. Just calling that now.
No, that'd be good, especially when Rusev walked out on their match.
Yes,
allowing Cass
exactly.
to get into that position.
Exactly.
That would be something good.
After that, it just turned into the people beat people, but Reigns mainly beats people show.
Yes, and the fans loved it.
And the fans did love it, but I think the fans were loving more that people were kicking out of the Superman punch constantly.
Yes.
But Reigns sold the look of wonderment, if there's such a word,
And
in his
disbelief.
eyes so well. Disbelief, thank you, wonderment. I know what I meant.
See, to be fair, as much as they did try and put Reigns over way too much, I never ever questioned his in-ring ability.
No.
I always thought he was brilliant. The only problem I found with what they were doing with him is they were making him do the same shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're also badly booking him, because what they shouldn't have booked him
Was
against
he was
was
a face.
constantly against babyfaces.
Yeah, he needs to go against heels.
What's the point?
Babyface, or they were trying to make him the face of WWE at the time.
Though the one thing they never did, and I was very upset with this, the one thing they never really did was Reigns versus Cena.
Yeah, but one of them needed to turn a heel.
Well,
That to make it
yeah, but they
truly
both
interesting.
get booed and cheered, so it'd be quite interesting to
Yeah.
find out what happens.
But, yeah, so Reigns just constantly countered everything with a Superman punch.
And then
Jesus
out
Christ.
of absolutely nowhere, Triple H through the barrier, pedigreeing
Roman Reigns.
Roman
with
Reigns
what I might
on
add,
the floor
the master of the pedigree, really done.
with authority.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And
all hail the king, it's Triple H.
Oh, bow down to the king.
It was insane.
Just bow down to the king.
And
Threw
then-
him back in the ring.
And then
Rollins eliminated
you
him.
thought Rollins was going to have his friend back. You thought that just for one moment it was all going to go Rollins' way, and fuck you, Seth Rollins, very much. That's how a pedigree is done. That's how a pedigree should fucking look. None of this jump backwards shit pedigree by Rollins.
No.
He's felt the full consequence, and my god, did Kevin Owens act fucking surprised.
I have an inkling.
I don't actually think you realised.
No, and have read somewhere, again, internet rumours, but it seems quite viable, that Kevin Owens might not have known. And that when Triple H threw him back in the ring, he kind of, word in his ear, did it. But Kevin Owens, to me, and my girlfriend will unbelievably disagree with me with this, because she hates Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, full deserving.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you on that one.
They need a big man to run roughshod over Raw with the Universal title. That man can't be Reigns at the moment. He's still too much in hot water.
Yeah.
And
Rollins,
it's probably a good thing that he's not.
I think we're all a little bit bored of Rollins. He's a very good competitor,
Rollins,
but I think
he's a main event act, Rollins. He just is. But he can't always have the title.
No. It's going to hold John Cena chucking the title in 24/7.
Interesting theory over Triple H with Kevin Owens as well is obviously where Triple H's been out for a while running NXT and that, maybe just looking after his NXT buddies. Obviously I know Rollins was at one point, but
there is the other rumour is that before Triple H sort of lost the title, they were going to have a Rollins Triple H rivalry, and that was sort of postponed because of Seth Rollins' injury at the time.
Yeah.
And now that he's match fit and he's just lost the third chance for the title in 5 weeks?
And Triple H got him the title. I wouldn't inspire, kind of opening segment of Raw next week. Rollins comes out,
calls out
screams
Triple
a lot.
H, calls out Triple H. Triple H comes out and nowhere, pedigrees him again, and we've got a WrestleMania match.
That won't be WrestleMania. Survivor Series somewhere. Oh, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, what a good match! Hell in a Cell match. I didn't think of that one, but then I think Triple H. I just think main event WrestleMania.
Yep.
Is
well, I'm sure over the weeks we shall find out.
To be fair, it was the best ending to Raw they've done in years.
Yeah. It was the best ending to any show they've done in years.
It was absolutely amazing. It was
overall
Raw up until that point was a bit shaky. Numbers.
Overall rating.
Rating, what that they got
out of 10? Yeah.
Out of 10, I would give it, just for the start of the match at the end, I'd give it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
That match
the match 10 out of 10. The show a strong 7, but there was slightly too much filler again. O'Neal and Darren Young just pointless. Two squash matches that really just annoy me.
But to be fair, having all of that crap beforehand
it did make up for it.
Made that match so much better.
Yeah. To me, it was a strong 7. Probably made a strong 7 by.
But I will say this though, Raw's actual TV ratings were up by almost 1 million.
Yeah. Well, it was the fatal. They don't give away titles on Raw. They don't give away Universal titles or let's call them top level titles, because until Monday they'd never given away the Universal title on Raw.
No. Well, I am getting annoyed that Stephanie referred to it
as the first ever. It was picked up by many people on Twitter.
It's like, poor Finn Balor, give him a bit of a break.
Yeah. Right. Well, that was Raw. Have you got any comments?
Please let us know your
Please
thoughts.
let us know at 2GTWUK, at Mike Formoy, at Ethan_Twiggy.
Yeah, and we will talk about
please
it
follow
next week. Yes. At the end of the day,
keep the numbers coming in.
Yeah, we would love the Twitter page to be just a complete debate between different opinions and views.
We would love
theories.
at 2GTWUK to just light up with followers and
just debate.
Not to beg. Please follow us.
We would love to see your views on it. I want debates. I want people saying that Kevin Owens is the best. I want other people saying that he's crap.
I want people arguing with us.
Yes, bring it on.
We are presenters. We will like the public's input.
We may be presenters, but we cannot come anywhere close to Mauro Ranallo.
We will know. No one in the world.
Mauro.
We will use the next 2 minutes to just praise everything to do with Mauro Ranallo. He needs his own segment within our show, and this might be weekly. Mauro Ranallo, the walking, talking thesaurus.
That is
Of the WWE.
Yeah.
The walking, talking dictionary of the WWE.
He is the Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
He is just
The
absolutely
WWE.
phenomenal.
He just brings references from 70s wrestling out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Or
I actually really want my ringtone, my text to be Super Cedar through the ropes. That's what I want. He just does it so well.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
No, Mauro Ranallo, the best thing to happen to WWE audio
Since JR left.
JR and King combination, Mauro Ranallo and JBL is just the best combination. I'm still not sold on David Otunga.
No.
He has the potential to be good, but he's also got the potential to be Saxton.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm kind of hoping he does turn into a little Saxon again.
But again, just flip back to Raw, 2 seconds. They keep picking on the wrong commentator because the one they should pick on is Cole because he's rubbish.
Yes.
Talks garbage, says the same phrases every week.
I like the fact that he had to have a script for when Shane McMahon went through the table with Undertaker. He actually had to have a script to go, wow, and Shane went through the table, because he couldn't just remember that bit.
Oh dear.
Right, SmackDown.
Moving on, SmackDown. We had smooth segue from Mauro Ranallo, the god that is, to SmackDown, the show that is.
The show that is owned by...
It was owned by The Miz.
Oh, God,
SmackDown
that
is owned by The Miz. I have been saying for months and months and months.
You really won't shut up about it.
Please work something with The Miz where The Miz actually shows just proper talent. He's a very, very talented man. He's very talented at what he does. He was very talented at playing the mid-carder and the coward and all this, but please do something with him. And
he's not a coward.
Fine, he's not a coward.
He made that clear.
And then walked away from Dolph. But
no, his wife pushed him away. He was going to go back for the fight.
The promo last week, we didn't get to really talk about it last week. The promo last week, the shoot work promo
where he
last
just
week, where basically he probably was given, in like the old days, a couple of pointers to go for,
and just
let loose. Go for it. Do what you want. And he's run it so well, and he opened SmackDown in a completely similar manner.
Yeah, it was very good.
Quite spectacularly.
He is fantastic on the mic. It's about time they've done something with him. I like the fact they've actually given him a little bit of anger.
Yes, and they're actually making something of the Intercontinental title rather than the kind of hot potato mentality. Just chuck it to the next person. Sorry.
Yeah.
I need someone to run the Intercontinental division for another couple of months at least. Give it some kind of perspective. Wait until the youngsters that they've signed from NXT and that come through properly. A bit more experience. Your Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed.
Kurt Hawkins should definitely be getting a shot at that.
Who can win a game of Connect 4 in 3 moves?
I might add, the best quote is they were going to name a road after Kurt Hawkins, but no one crosses Kurt Hawkins and lives.
But yeah, someone like that to come in, challenge Miz to an actual fight. I think Dolph, who interrupted Miz at the start of SmackDown, is a great shout.
Perfect. I think they both
have
the intensity as well behind the mic.
They have now, because that's what they've built it up to be. Yeah. The intensity of the Ambrose rivalry lit a fire, quote unquote, in Dolph Ziggler that now has made him more angry and more determined to succeed. Same with The Miz. Lit a fire on Talking Smack last week. Makes him even more determined to succeed. And if we have that match at Backlash,
I hope
because they've done this match many, many times in the past, but they better make it one of the best matches they've ever fought, both of them.
Yeah, I don't want to see Miz taking the coward way out. I want to see an actual fight.
Because so many times I've seen Dolph Ziggler get cheered all the way to the ring, massive pop from the crowd, all the way to the ring, and then the match dies halfway through.
Yeah.
And no one really bothers.
I would love to see a last man standing match between those two. That would be amazing. How many zigzags would it take to keep them down? Yeah.
Right. Ford villains. Again, speaking of underutilised talent needs a push. It seems to be a running theme week in, week out. We've done 2 shows so far, and we keep speaking of underutilised talent.
But there is only so much they can fit into a time, and everyone is going to have to take their turn. At least with the Vaudevillains, they did show some prowess in the ring.
Yeah, they actually had a proper fight.
So it's not like they were underutilised. They were just not on the top at the moment. It is
Yeah.
building up the Hype Bros, which I think
which is phenomenal.
that match was insane.
The match was very good.
Zack Ryder works so much
I've
better
got
as a tag
to
team.
go as a good match from what I know. I've got a good solid match.
I thought
Hype Bros.
I thought it was a very entertaining match.
It was. I was in, but it wasn't too long to lose people's attention.
Exactly.
To me, what SmackDown are doing right now compared to Raw, okay, it's not necessarily shorter matches, but where they've got a shorter time frame, they use their shorter time frame to keep the audience's attention and build up rivalries more.
Yeah. See, the thing is, with a name like Hype Bros, you want the
need
match.
the hype.
You want the matches to be fast paced.
Yes.
So the last thing you want to see them do is try and do submission technical holds. What you want to see them do is what Mojo Rawley done: run around screaming and beating people up. And he does it so well, and he gets the crowd, in
and he stays hyped.
Yeah, I was sitting on my sofa, and you can woo that. I was sitting on my sofa, on the edge of my sofa by the end of that match. I thought it was brilliant.
But again, what I was saying was the match lengths are shorter, but not quite Attitude Era short, where they're just sloppy and get done. They just literally all with Raw especially, all they need to do is just shave 2 minutes off their matches.
Yeah.
Just to make them more digestible to the fans.
Yeah.
Because to me, I know matches are about building a story, but I'd rather that the story of a match came out in the match at the pay-per-views.
Yes, rather than...
matches are supposed to tell stories, I get that. But you need to use Raw and SmackDown to build the stories.
Sort of like the Wayne to Rusev, have the 25-minute match before the pay-per-view and then ruin the story at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There we go. We need to avoid that.
The complete opposite of that scenario.
Yes.
Would be perfect. AJ Styles.
Oh my god, I am loving the fact that he is wearing the headband.
He was wearing the armband.
The armband, which is now
head.
his headband, and he is the face that runs the place.
He looks like a 118 man.
He is absolutely... He is just so cocky and arrogant, and he sells it well.
He plays it so
He's
well.
so good, and he's just... I like the fact that he goes up to someone and goes, "Who's your name?" "I don't know you, it doesn't matter." And just walks off.
Well, to be fair, I misheard. I didn't know if you went, "What's your name?" or "Who's your name?" It doesn't matter. Or he went to say something to someone and completely forgot their name.
Yeah.
That's what came across to me. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't need to know your name.
To be fair, that whole bit reminded me of a DX sketch back in the day of when Triple H and Shawn Michaels are having an argument, and Shawn Michaels turns round to one of the road crew and goes, "What's your name?" And he goes, "Stan." And he super kicks Sweet Chin Music Stan, and just turns around to Triple H and goes, "I just kicked Stan in the head," and walks off. It
that's one of my favourite moments ever as well.
It sort of reminded me of that a little bit. It was really good. And then he comes out, he's doing his promo, he's got the crowd entertained.
Yeah, I've got it written down here on my notes from SmackDown. AJ being arrogant jackass.
Yes.
Kind of enjoy it. Does it well. What does he look like?
It was brilliant. And then you had Apollo Crews.
Crews absolutely did himself, like Cass, did himself so much justice to go against the main event talent like that.
That is exactly what I've got.
Because his match with The Miz at SummerSlam was slightly disappointing.
Yep.
But to then push himself against AJ Styles, a main event talent, who his main event talent when he even turned up, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
He was ready-made. Apollo Crews has worked his way through NXT. Slightly disappointed to me that he's come up so early. I enjoy Apollo Crews. I love his move. I think he should have had a run at the NXT title first.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. Actually, annoying.
But no, a great match.
Yeah, no.
I've got one point that I've actually got here that I absolutely really loved, and that was AJ's crossbody that Apollo Crews caught and managed to turn into a fall-away slam Samoan drop, which just confused the crap out of me.
It was a brilliant little move. I like the fact that match actually got what they were trying to do. The purpose of it, of course, the purpose was to show AJ in strong form for his Backlash match.
The purpose of the match,
and it was also to show Apollo Crews can be at that level.
And it told the story it was supposed to tell. Apollo Crews had a problem with AJ. I want to fight you, AJ. Let's have a fight. Nearly won. AJ won. Fight over. We can all move on to next week, where Apollo Crews can find someone else to have beef with, and maybe start a decent rivalry. Don't know who with. I couldn't pick one specific person for him to have a rivalry with. That's my one problem.
It is my problem. Kurt Hawkins could be a
let's try and stay away from the word phenomenal unless we're talking about AJ.
Kurt Hawkins would be a very good rivalry, actually.
Yes.
Because it'd be good to see Kurt Hawkins come in with a win straight away, because he's been in the WWE before.
They're building him up. They have to have him come in with a win. I don't want him to be another...
Well, originally, he came in with Zack Ryder. I can't remember the third guy's name, but he was when Edge was going out with Vicky Guerrero, and Vicky Guerrero brought in the family to protect Edge, and Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins were two of those three members. So... it'd be interesting to see if they bring that history back in between.
Kurt is a shout. I'll tell you who might be a shout now as well after the whole Wyatt family saga. It might be Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
Put him up against a big guy like Eric Rowan.
Someone, to be fair...
Someone else who's got 4 moves.
Well, to be fair, actually, Eric Rowan's got a few moves.
No, he's got a body slam. He's got a reverse spin kick.
Which is insane.
Which is a very good kick. I'm not taking the kick away from him. He's got a rotating clothesline.
He's got the suplexes.
Got a suplex.
He's some couple of different ones. He's got an amazing running clothesarm. Clothesline.
They do. Again, it's just one of these things. They need to teach them more moves, because otherwise their matches are going to be boring and repetitive.
Which is what I like. To go back to Raw quickly, the Neville Chris Jericho match. It was good to see.
Always throwing different things in there.
It was good to see. To be fair, I didn't say it beforehand, but it was good to see Neville lose, but lose cleanly, and he lost,
but he lost well.
He only lost because Chris Jericho was the veteran. He was that one move ahead of him to get the counter. Other than that, toe to toe with Chris Jericho, and that's what Apollo Crews done with AJ Styles. He was toe to toe through the match. AJ's a slight veteran in it. AJ got the win. It was good. Then we
Heath Slater and Rhino.
Okay, this was either the best worst thing or the worst best thing I have ever seen.
There is nothing more intimidating than Rhino just sitting staring at you eating crackers.
Yes. With squeezy cream.
Oh
cheese.
yeah. With the I can't think what it's
the
called.
squirty cheese, whatever it's called.
Let's call it squirty cheese.
Proper white trash dinner that was.
Heath Slater's wife.
Maybe a little bit too much on the overacting on her part.
The only problem I have with Heath Slater's wife, which probably isn't, unless there's something I don't know, Heath Slater's wife is, if anyone remembers Jamie Noble and Nydia, what that reminds me of is they're trying to do Heath Slater and his wife as Jamie Noble and Nydia. White trash, living on a caravan park or in a condo. It worked for them. Yeah. I don't think they should repeat it.
Yeah, no, I think they need to do something a little different with...
I'll get to that, but the point I was going to make in a minute, actually, but still on this segment. It's just unreal.
It was a tad long as well. I think the segment...
It was, but it was supposed to give you, quote unquote, insight into Heath Slater's life.
But I would have rathered more. To be fair, my main problem with this whole bit was rather than having a match in between that segment and the Bray Wyatt sermon to Randy Orton after,
which was brilliant.
There should have been a match. They should have put the women's match in between that to break it up. It was a lot of talking.
Or the Heath Rhino match.
Yeah.
Straight after the Heath Rhino segment.
They needed to break up a little bit. It was a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred a few minutes off Slater and a few more minutes on Bray Wyatt. It was an amazing segment. Wyatt was incredible on the mic.
I find it really ironic that Bray Wyatt tells Randy Orton to run, then when Randy Orton turns up, Bray Wyatt just disappears into thin air.
That is the whole mind games thing.
But yes, this is my point with Raw and Smackdown. Instead of having them fight it out for 15, 20 minutes at a time each show, build suspense for the match.
Yeah. I'm actually, to be fair, the match I'm looking forward to at Backlash is that one. I will always say Bray Wyatt is the best man on either roster. That he is not being used at all correctly.
Yep.
Which is a shame.
Up until now, but now he seems to have got rid of the whole Wyatt family concept. So hopefully...
The Wyatt family started off good. It was a dominant force, and they went, oh, do you know what, we'll have them lose.
It was a dominant force. You had Rowan and Harper as the tag team champions, and should have had Wyatt as Bray Wyatt as a champion of some kind.
Yeah.
I'd have even taken Divas champion.
To be fair, he's prettier than half the Divas. Or Dana Brooke specifically.
Well, yes, Dana Brooke specifically. Not that we're getting too personal about people's appearances, because everyone should be comfortable in their own skin, people here. So
I will say
before we get any lawsuits, I
will say this: Dana Brooke can back it up in the ring. She's a phenomenal athlete.
She is a good athlete. She's good at what she does.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton.
Lovely little
Speeches.
segment between the two.
I am enjoying hearing more and more about Randy Orton's voices in his head.
Yes. I think it's a good thing to bring him back. They've sort of brought him back as I don't care face. I'm going to do what I want to do.
I don't care babyface. He's been there. He's done it all. Tag team champion, Intercontinental champion, world champion, WWE champion.
Yeah.
He's done it all. He's done it. He's done the WWE title, WWE/world title 12 times. He's got nothing else to prove. He's much better as someone who can put on a good show, win or lose.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, though, that Bray Wyatt gets a good win under his belt against a good veteran. I'm fed up of seeing Bray Wyatt
Buried.
demolish people on normal weekly shows, and then it comes to the big pay-per-view matches, and he gets taken out by a turnbuckle. Or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, he beat the shit out of Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph Ziggler only won because he used the turnbuckle. Other than that, Bray Wyatt had won that match.
Yep.
We need, everyone needs.
The world needs, the universe.
The buzzards need.
The buzzards need.
Bray Wyatt to have a good win and actually cement a good place, because Randy Orton's done that. Randy Orton is, as you say, a 12-time champ. You don't need to explain who Randy Orton is.
No.
He has the RKO out of nowhere.
We will tell you, he has an RKO that comes # from out of nowhere.
Yep.
He has voices in his head.
A lot of them.
And that's about what you need to know about Randy Orton. He's got a lot of tattoos.
He has some good tattoos.
But
yeah.
we're really digressing.
But
really
no,
digressing.
Bray Wyatt definitely needs to cement his place.
Yep.
It's a new brand. It's a new Bray Wyatt. He looks meaner.
Let's do this. He's one of the top 4 talents on Raw. SmackDown.
SmackDown. Even on Raw. Put him
Even
on Raw.
Raw, yeah,
He'd be
he's
even
probably
in
the
the
top
top 4.
talent on Raw. But he's one of the top 4 talents on SmackDown. AJ, Dean,
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton,
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. That's
I
it.
like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he was top level talent. He's very, very, very good at what he does. But when you're looking at the WWE World Title,
Yeah.
the 4 men you would say could hold it are right there.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one.
Titles. There is a smooth segue here from titles into a not spectacularly exciting women's tag team division match.
I know the purpose for this. And the sole purpose was never about Bliss, Natalya, Lynch, or Naomi. It was solely about Carmella showing that she is a badass.
It was about that, and I agree with you. But what they should have done was have the divas in the ring actually put on a decent match.
They're not divas. They're women.
Living in the past. I've been living in the divas world since the Attitude Era. They were called divas, but they fought for the women's title. Argument. Day. But they should have had the combatants in the ring put on a good show for everyone to pay attention to until Carmella came out.
Yeah, to be fair. I will say this, Naomi's entrance is starting to look a little bit more fluent.
Yes.
It's not so look at my hair go all over the place.
Well, I think
It was a case of look, I've got
to use a one-hit wonders song. I whip my hair back and forth.
Yeah, that was one hit wonder. But I'm not sure about the whole twerking thing. There was a lot of twerking coming down that ramp.
She's a former cheerleader. Twerking's what they do, as well as waving their arms about like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men.
That's amazing. She does use her ass as one of her finishers.
One of the worst finishes ever.
What, the rear end?
Yep.
Brilliant name.
Perfectly named. I have no issue for once with the naming of a finisher move, but it's an awful finisher.
If you got hit in the face with that, you would stay down.
It's very true, very true. But Carmella and Nikki Bella seem to be quite an interesting rivalry, but they do. I know they're trying to make Carmella look strong, but at least have Nikki Bella throw a punch.
Yeah, but at the same time, they are trying to show Carmella as being able to topple the longest reigning divas. Then we go on
six-pack challenge at Backlash.
I'm so looking forward to it.
For the women's title, the SmackDown women's title, still appallingly named.
Yes.
At least could make it the World Women's title, or
that'd be something nice.
Or even just have SmackDown have the World titles, and or have the Universal titles.
Yeah.
The Universal Tag Team Champions, the Universal Women's Champion.
Yeah, no, I'm moving on. But who do you think's going to walk out women's champ?
I think I'm going to need to see it over. I think I'm going to need to see next week before we do our predictions for Backlash, because I don't know yet.
Yeah, I definitely know it's not going to be Alexa Bliss or Naomi.
I don't know. I think Alexa's a shout.
You think Alexa's a shout?
She got the pin on Becky. She won her debut match.
Yeah,
I think they're
maybe.
pushing her a little bit. It could be interesting.
Then we go to a Kurt Hawkins promo, which I cannot tell you how much I love Kurt Hawkins. I've been
Or
a
his
fan,
promos.
I've been a fan of him since he first sort of came into the WWE. I think he's brilliant. Can't wait to actually see him in the ring. Get him in the ring. Return of the Headbangers.
Return of the Headbangers, who were looking slightly
Mosh
past
and
it.
Thrasher. They were looking slightly past it.
Slightly past it and saggy, I kind of
At
felt.
the same time, it wasn't a bad performance on their end. Bear in mind, they haven't been in the ring in God knows how long.
Yes. Well, they might have been doing indies anyway.
Okay, WWE ring of that high caliber. I thought actually they'd done a really good job beating the shit out of Heath Slater. They got one move in on Rhino,
Which broke his face.
giving him 8 stitches. I will say this though: at the end, when Rhino gored them, him.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out where the blood had come from on Heath Slater. It was all over his chest. I was looking at Heath Slater going, "You're not bleeding." It wasn't until the very end where I saw that Rhino was bleeding.
Well, yeah, you had Rhino, but I have a feeling at one point, I don't know, but Slater's face looks a bit puffy. I wonder if he had a bloody nose at the time as well.
Possibly
So you can never tell with the ginger beard and that.
Yeah.
Heath Slater. But no, solid, reasonably quick match.
Yeah.
Getting the Headbangers in to put a talent over was perfect.
Yeah.
I was wondering when they said about an 8-team elimination tournament who the 8th team would be last week.
I wasn't sure who the 7th team was going to be until they said Heath Slater had Rhino. They were, we're going to have eight teams.
We're going to have, but they said Heath go and find a partner and we'll have an 8-team tournament. But I counted 6 in the ring.
Yeah. That was 7. It was like,
Now we have the Headbangers, but they probably won't amount to anything. They'll just be there to put over, preferably the Ascension.
Yes.
Ascension constantly go on about how they're better than all the greatest tag teams in the past. Put the Ascension up against the Headbangers.
Very good.
Easy.
Kane comes back, and what was his name? Gary the
Where
Milkman.
am I? Darren the Milkman. It's Darren the Milkman I had.
I put Gary the Milkman.
He was a milkman anyway,
He was a
who
milkman.
issued an open challenge for no reason, stripped down to his tidy whities for no reason, and then got massacred by a Kane chokeslam, which was just brilliant.
I will say this though, he looked so terrified putting his trousers back over his tighty whities, but Mauro Ranallo saying the word tighty whities for me was the highlight. Tighty whities!
Chokeslam to the milkman!
It was, yeah.
But what got me more is because we've had so many instances of fans jumping the barrier recently, I wasn't sure he was supposed to be there.
I was waiting for the security.
But it turns out to be a Kane return promo, and everyone's happy. Kane just hasn't been used enough.
Potential rivalry with Baron Corbin when they cross paths on the ramp.
It was just 2 big men staring at each other. I wouldn't have thought that was anything.
Randy
but I was
Orton, Bray Wyatt.
they were at least talking to each other.
Yeah, but they crossed paths on the ramp initially. Then Bray Wyatt went, "Do you know what? Don't like you." But Kane hasn't been used. Baron Corbin hasn't been used properly.
Baron Corbin is a main event talent at bloody last.
Yes.
Put him in the main event of SmackDown against the champ, and the only thing that they had to do with it was put Baron Corbin over as being someone who's a bit stronger than the average person, your AJs, your Dean Ambroses, and they did it perfectly by finishing the match with a DQ. So Corbin didn't get pinned.
Yep.
To show that. It progressed the story with Dean and AJ, which was absolutely superb. We spoke last week about trying to take the comedy out of Dean Ambrose, which they've done. But at the end, they just threw a little bit on, just to keep the comedians happy.
That's all right, though, but trying to do it all the time is wrong. But I will say this, though. Dean Ambrose can mesh with a lot of superstars between the ropes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looked fantastic. Sometimes he doesn't quite live up to what the other person's doing, and for me, Baron Corbin was the better in-ring competitor in that match. Dean Ambrose just... It was like he didn't know what to do. You know, he meshed well with Roman Reigns in their little triple threats with, you know, Seth Rollins. He done well.
One-on-one, yeah.
Yep, he done well against Triple H at Roadblock. He's just done... Yeah, these are people that because... Baron Corbin's huge in comparison to these people.
You've also got the fact that those two have never faced each other before ever, so they've never really worked together.
No, but Baron Corbin likes that.
If you work with someone week in, week out, like Seth Rollins, like Roman Reigns, Dolph Ziggler, week in, week out, like Ambrose and AJ are going to do probably for the next 2 months, then you're going to get to know each other better. You're going to get to know how you connect together, and your matches will get better and better.
Yeah.
And
just Dean Ambrose just didn't look comfortable.
No.
He didn't look like a champion in that match. He just looked like another guy. But
I think the idea was to face Baron Corbin to try and put over that Dean's been a bit softened up before Backlash.
Yeah.
So,
but
who knows?
It was, yeah.
Looking forward to Ambrose and AJ, and hopefully Corbin will have something proper to do, because I thought it was very good against Dean Ambrose. I think he deserved to be in the main event for a change.
On the off chance that Baron Corbin does go into a rivalry with Kane from their little ramp crossing, do you not think it's going to be a bit of a pointless rivalry? They're both... Oh, I think Baron Corbin needs to be someone who can throw people around a little bit. Kane isn't throwable, and Kane likes to throw people around, and Baron Corbin's not so throwable.
Well, yes, but I don't know. Baron Corbin can be quite throwable if you've got the right person to work with.
Yeah,
and Kane is one of those people.
I just don't think it's. I think the matches would be good, but I don't think it would be as captivating as it should be. I think it'd be good for Kane. I think it'd be bad for Baron Corbin's momentum. So I kind of hope if they do something like that, it does end up with one of them going for the Intercontinental or something.
Yeah.
But
overall rating, SmackDown.
I'd say another good solid 7.
I'd say it was a pretty good 8 for me, because it just,
I like
unlike
the fact that
Raw,
the
SmackDown had something that Raw didn't, which was story development. Because there wasn't much of that in Raw.
No, it was pretty pointless up until the match at the end.
I think their main attempt at story development was O'Neil and Young
and the
a bit of Gallows, Anderson, and New Day as well. But I do think the story development of SmackDown is better. The writing's better.
It's much better. It does suck that they're getting less viewings, but
not much less at the moment. Actually.
No, it's only about 300 to 500,000.
Yeah.
But it's enough that Raw can't stop going on about they're getting fucking viewings. When
Raw are going to win this week, though, it's just a fact, because
if
of
that
their
fucking fatal
Universal title match.
That fatal 4-way is just insane.
Raw utilised those 4 stars perfectly. If they can actually utilise people perfectly every week, they're on to a winner.
Yeah.
They just are.
I mean, literally, I know we've gone past it.
We are
6.5 minutes. NXT, is there anything you actually want to talk about?
There wasn't much this week.
There was only a couple of things that really stood out to me. I mean, you got the typical Ty Dillinger being pushed a little bit. He is so over in NXT at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Murphy and Blake.
I would give Ty Dillinger a solid 10.
Yeah, 10! Murphy, again, showing that he can do it without Blake. Ciampa gets beaten the shit out of. We all saw it coming. Steve Cutler, Kenneth Crawford was actually a pretty good match.
Who are those people? Because I've never seen any of those. Explain this to me.
Steve Cutler is basically the gunner from TNA. He served 2 tours in Iraq.
Okay.
And
he's kind of your military guy.
Yeah, but without so cliched. His phrase is, to get the attention, you need to put the bullseye on your own back. And it was pretty good. He put himself straight. It was a good match, and he worked Kenneth Crawford pretty damn hard, to be fair. Kenneth Crawford done an amazing running, shooting star press out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He just ran and flipped. You're like, holy shit.
So 2 possible stars of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Basically,
but Steve Cutler had a ridiculously impressive finisher. It just worked so well for him from the corner and got the win. It was only a short match. It was 5.5, 6 minutes. And it was good. It was a little bit, it showed both of them had potential. Good to see both of them actually get on TV. The other one was No Way Jose. Getting a little bit more of a push. Fans are still loving him. And then, without any actual good women, apart from Asuka,
of course,
they've lost Bayley, they've lost Sasha, they've lost Charlotte, they've lost Becky Lynch, they've lost Nia Jax.
Got Ember Moon.
They've got Ember Moon, but they didn't have her on this week, which I'm a little bit gutted by.
They film like 4 shows at a time, though. So that's the way they utilise their talent. Is they have like a 4-hour filming session, and they try and use all their talent throughout the 4 hours.
Yeah, but they did have Liv Morgan v. Aliyah, I think her name is pronounced. But it was actually not a bad match. I don't think the fans are behind the new women at the moment, the ones they're pushing.
No, but they probably weren't behind the other 4 at the start. They need to gain momentum to get them going.
I'd say with the first 4, they became the 4 horsewomen. They created such an impact that
They did, but the 4 horsewomen kind of moniker was because of Ric Flair.
Yeah, but to fill that void that they've now left, and it's a big fucking hole to fill.
Yeah.
They have got a lot to do, and I do hope that the women's division in NXT does improve. I do hope they start signing some more people.
Yeah, they need to start building their stories back up again now as well.
I would love to see
because it seemed a bit like a filler show.
It was a little bit. I mean, you got the champion in Shinsuke
It
Nakamura.
seemed almost like a house show.
Yeah, well, you got the champion, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep.
And he came out for 5 minutes at the end. Didn't actually talk for the first two because the crowd were just shouting his name and he was loving it.
Yep.
He was feeding off that like a motherfucker.
Just discussed some things, said he'd done everything all over the world, so came to NXT to be the best, and that was about it.
Yeah, the Samoa Joe era's over.
Yeah.
And the era of strong style.
The era of strong style is there.
Has begun. So.
And Joe's injury, quote unquote injury, it's a work injury.
Yeah.
It'll give him a couple of weeks and he'll come back and start beating the crap out of Nakamura again.
I am quite liking where they're going with Hideo Itami Austin Aries.
Yes.
That is going to be such a good match when that happens. I do wish Hideo Itami could work the mic a little better. He's been
out for a year. Give him a break.
But it's not the point. Because he is from a foreign country, his first language isn't English.
Yeah.
Or in their case, American English, which is the wrong type of English.
It's not so much the wrong type of English, the wrong type of spelling.
Oh, you're getting
But let's not pick on our American cousins because they never know, they might actually listen to this show. So
to be fair, they have got some good talent.
Yes.
But to be fair,
digressing again.
The cruiserweights have got some really good British talent. Can't wait to see him come up. But yeah, Hideo Itami, I wish you could work that mic a little bit. He's been in the country long enough. I want him to be a little bit more fluent because he's such a character inside the ring. I want him to be that much of a character on the mic. The fans sort of let him slip a little bit because he does pause a lot, which is understandable. English is a hard language. I just want him to be that main eventer. He's so good. And I like the fact that they're giving him the gone to sleep.
Well, and to be fair, he kind of invented it. He just hasn't used it in a long, long time.
That's true.
So
he does it well.
But enough of that.
Yes.
Enough of that.
Yeah,
If you want to contact us about any of this or follow us on Twitter at 2GTW. At 2GTWUK. I'm going to try not to say that too fast next time. At Mike Formoy, at Ethan_Twiggy. That's all from us this week.
Yeah.
We've overrun by a long time.
11 minutes is fine.
But yeah, please contact us, please follow us, and we'll be back next week with more thoughts, reviews,
and
arguments, and predictions for Backlash.
And we want to hear your predictions.
Yes. Have a good week, guys. Speak to you next week.
See you later.
Bye now.